Just a brief history for those that don't know. Also, an additional caveat, if you're an expert in oil and gas, this may be a bit elementary, so bear with us. The idea is to give every participant the basic knowledge and the basic understanding of this area of law. In 1956, oil was first discovered in commercial quantities in Oyebode, which is in the present-day Bayelsa State. And it was discovered by a company called Shell Dachi, which, as we know now, is Shell. They've been here since 1956 doing business. In the late 60s and 70s, more players in the Nigerian petroleum industry emerged. Majority of the Seven Sisters came into Nigeria and were all exploring for oil. Nigeria joined the Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries in 1971, which is OPEC. And just where are we currently? And as you may all know, getting data in Nigeria is pretty difficult. So apologies if this is the 2020, 2019 data. 2020 data says we have 37 billion barrels of proven crude oil reserves, which makes Nigeria the 13th largest oil producer in the world and the largest in Africa. And however, our current crude oil production as of January was 1.4 million barrels a day. I know before COVID and the disruptions COVID came with, Nigeria was producing about 2.5 million barrels, but we're down to 1.4 million barrels now. And people usually say Nigeria is an oil country and Nigeria is an oil country. But many experts have said Nigeria is an oil country surrounded with gas. We have more gas than we have oil. We have over 200 trillion cubic feet proven gas reserves, which is the 10th largest in the world and the largest in Africa. And this goes without saying, about 65% of federal government revenue is derived from oil. 88% of our forex is gotten from oil. So we see the position Nigeria occupies in the global oil market. And sometimes it's ironic that we are where we are, with being the largest oil reserves in Africa and also the largest gas reserves in Africa. And as we woke up today, we're hearing things about fuel queues and increase in prices, and watching what's going on. But we look to the value chain, and this picture essentially tries to capture the entire value chain for gas and for oil. Sometimes they're merged, sometimes they are on a standalone basis. And we can see here where the oil field is, where with the drilling occurs, and the oil is explored in this area, and then you drill, you find oil. When it comes out, take it to the terminal. You can also see the FPSO, which is a floating production, storage, and offload vessel, which is also utilized in drilling in the deep offshore areas. As we go along, I will explain most of these terms. And you can see the image is well partitioned into three: upstream, midstream, and downstream. And this is particularly important as you go along in understanding the different regulators and the different tax implications of what part of the divide that you fall. So for the upstream, which are the essential oil and gas players, they drill, get the oil, and it gets to the terminal. It moves through a pipeline to the midstream region, and then straight to a refinery. Here, the refinery takes on the crude oil and separates it into different byproducts. And those refined products are transported and utilized in our homes, or in our cars, and in our different offices. There's also another alternative where the crude oil goes to the refinery, and rather than refined products, you get natural gas liquids. This is a scenario where the crude oil and gas are found together, essentially associated gas, where in the process of drilling for crude, you also see some portion of gas. In this instance, the refiner will separate the crude from the gas, and the gas goes as a natural gas liquid, and it goes to a fractionator, which essentially just distills the product, and it moves to petrochemical plants where the NGLs are utilized. Or it can move down to a gas processing facility where it's further distillated and the different byproducts of gas are found, and then it goes to a storage facility. That's for the crude channel. The gas channel also, there are gas fields here, and the gas fields where they are rich, liquid rich, which is essentially with water, gas mixed with water, it goes into a gas processing unit or facility. That unit will separate the water from the gas and essentially giving you dry gas. Dry gas goes straight into the storage facility, and from the storage facility, it goes to be utilized in the power plant, in the petrochemical plant, and in our relevant homes. Where it's not wet gas, you find dry gas, you don't need to process. So it goes straight to a storage facility and utilized in our homes. Also, you need to, because as lawyers, you always have to follow the money. So that in order to understand the liquidity of the market, you need to understand who's the off-taker. So if you see here, the power plants typically off-take the gas. Majority of Nigerians' power plants are thermal, and they utilize gas in the generation of electricity, which we all use in our homes. So when you pay for your electricity, the electricity company, and there are different channels, but I won't go into that because that's a different topic, they pay for the gas, and it's that amount of money that the gas companies utilize in developing gas infrastructure, gas facilities, and also to spend additional monies in further exploring for additional gas fields. So the impact that you and I not meeting our electricity bills in our homes is that there will be a dearth in the infrastructure because the market won't be liquid enough in order to be able to enable gas players invest additional sums in the infrastructure that gets the gas from the gas field to our homes. I think that general understanding is very important because you understand why Nigeria has gotten to where we are as of today, why majority of us don't have constant power supply. It's because a lot of the facilities that get the gas have not been developed, and there's no incentive for gas players to develop gas because the power sector is not liquid enough to meet its obligations to the gas producers and the gas transporters.